My first playthrough, trying out the 11th century Kingdom of Leon on the Iberian Peninsula, I got my sister, the Infanta Isabella, pregnant. And 15 minutes after that I was killed by my own brother. Not so much because of the sister thing, but because he just coveted my throne. Surely this is game over, I thought. Well, not so in Crusader Kings. I could play with my brother on the throne, who had some better morals and standards, and for a couple of decades the Kingdom of Leon flourished, overtaking the Spanish peninsula. And this encapsulates precisely what Crusader Kings 3 is about. It may sell itself as a strategy game with RPG elements, but in reality it is about family, intrigue, diplomacy and at times goofing off. In short, playing your own version of Game of Thrones, minus the ice zombies. Paradox Interactive is behind the Crusader Kings game series. This Swedish developer and publisher is well known for strategy games such as Europa, Universalis, Hearts of Iron, Victoria and Imperator Rome, and for publishing games like City Skylines and Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2. Its strategy games are known to be some of the best in the business, so to say, but they cater to a somewhat smaller niche audience. The Crusader Kings games, and especially Crusader Kings 3, are the bold, fun-loving cousins in this lineup. This game came out in the autumn of 2020, last year already, but I've been in the position of playing only for the last couple of months. So, let's see how it holds up. Setting and gameplay. Since this is a historical strategy game, there's not so much a backstory but a historical setting. Game takes place in the late Dark Ages, the tail end of the Viking Age, and the High Middle Ages, say about 12th and 13th century, in Europe and the Near East. You can either play a historical scenario, choosing for instance a Viking warlord in Russia, helping the Spanish kingdoms with Reconquista, the Normans in Sicily, or the Counts of Anjou in France. Or you can pick any kingdom, empire or small county or duchy you want. If you have the ambition to get the Byzantine Empire to its former glory, pick that. Or choose my home county of Holland and try to become the ruling family of the Holy Roman Empire. Now, while at first glance Crusader Kings 3 may seem like your typical Paradox strategy game, you try to conquer and hold your neighboring territories and decide on how to develop your domains, this is a game with a slight twist. For instance, your armies. You don't have standing armies like in Europa Universalis or Imperator Rome. Instead, when you go to war, you call on your vassals and muster your own knights. When the war is over, you send them home again. This is also basically how a medieval kingdom would fight. But that's not all. The main part of the game is about the relationships between your leader and everyone else. Your family, your vassals, the church, and of course your neighbors. And it's here where you will have the most fun. Your wife hates your guts? Well, you can either try to woo her into loving you or send her off to a monastery to live her life amongst the nuns. Is your neighboring kingdom too strong to conquer outright? Give your spy master the task to dig up some dirt, or to try kill its king, so his idiot son will succeed him. The possibilities are almost endless. You can play as a virtuous king who will have the backing of the church, but in that case your vassals won't think much of you. Or you can be the fun-loving party king who can't keep his hands off his maids. All these options may seem like this game is a high strategy and very daunting for a newbie. The reverse actually is true. Of course you can focus on trying to conquer the known world, but in Crusader Kings the journey is more important than the destination. The decision you make is almost never a wrong decision, it just opens more intrigue and fun. The only thing you do have to worry about is making sure your dynasty survives. If your king doesn't have any relatives to succeed him when he dies, then it's game over. So keep on producing enough sons, or motivate your brothers to have offspring. One nice thing compared to the standard Paradox games is that you don't have to have a PhD in menu pop-ups, luckily. Graphics. Like any Paradox game, you don't play it for the graphics. The map, menus, intro all look basically like the Universalis series. It does the job, but won't win any awards. A big step forward, however, are the character models of every ruler and vassal. Those are done in 3D and look pretty decent. They give the game more bite and quality. Sound. The same goes for sound. The soundtrack is pretty decent and in-game sounds do the trick. There is absolutely no spoken dialogue whatsoever in this game. Conclusion. This is probably one of the most fun I've ever had playing a game. There's almost no wrong way to play it, you just do what you want and enjoy the ride. Now the question begs, for who is this game actually? Well, you like games like Civilization? Then this is a game for you. You like RPGs? Then you will enjoy yourself as well. Don't expect spiffy graphics or effects, but if you're enticed by a near perfect game playing experience, then Crusader Kings 3 is definitely for you. I give this game a score of 8 out of 10.